Alright guys, thanks for joining me on this next project here. We're going to be doing the front shocks on the 68 Bug. First we're going to need to be pulling off the front wheel. You're going to go ahead and loosen up the lug nuts and then get the vehicle jacked up off the ground and then remove the lug nuts completely. And then we're going to be removing that top nut, that bottom nut, and then replacing them with the new shock. Alright guys, so now that I have the wheel off, we're going to be removing the shocks and putting these guys on. These are some Coil-Overs, stock length, nothing too exciting about them. Just straightforward shocks. I think I got these for about $40 for the pair, so pretty good price. They come with this adjuster to help you change the tension on these guys. So if you want to raise or lower the bug, all you have to do is put this adjuster on down at the bottom and twist it and move it up or down one notch to change the tension in the spring. So we're going to remove this shock in the front. In order to do that, you're going to need a 14mm ratchet wrench. Okay, just going to go ahead and put that on top of the top nut. Okay, and once you have that on, you're going to have another 14mm socket to go on top. Okay, so one's going to hold the bottom while you break the top nut loose. Okay, and then on the bottom, it's actually an 18mm socket, or ratchet wrench, excuse me. And you're just going to put that on that bottom bolt and break that loose. And then once you have the top and bottom loose, it's pretty straightforward. You can just drop the new shock in place. So let me get the bolts off. Alright guys, so after you get the lock nut off the top of this nut, go ahead and leave that on there. You're going to get a 1/4 inch socket. Use the open end side of it, and you're going to hold it on top of the shock so the shock doesn't spin while you loosen up this bolt. Okay, so we're going to go and get that off. Once you do that, the shock should just drop right out. If it's an older shock, it will just come out. If this is a fairly new shock, it's not blown or bad, you're going to have to compress it down to get it out. In order to put the new shock on, you're going to want to remove this top washer and grommet. Just take the nut off. Okay, so now you got that off. All you're going to do, see if I can get in here and do this one-handed, you're going to put the top of it in to where the hole goes, and the bottom should almost just fall right in. Okay, so the top's going to slide in, and you can see the bottom lines up, the shock's on at that point. Okay, then all you're going to do is you're going to take this top rubber washer and grommet, or excuse me, rubber washer and then metal washer. Okay, snug that on. And then you can take your old hardware from the bottom shock mount, put your washer back on. Okay, and then you're going to put your lock washer and your nut back on. Then you just tighten it all back up, and then we'll do a final adjustment here in a minute. Alright guys, so when you're tightening down this bolt, you want to tighten it all the way down to where it gets nice and tight into these threads. I think they put about 1 inch threads there, so you can almost bottom out that nut, and it'll be perfect for these two rubber grommets. So one thing I noticed installing this thing, looks like there might be some rubbing issues there. I don't know. Once we get the tire on, it may sit properly, it may not, I don't know. But just to let you know that there are some rubbing issues there. Now, like I said before, if you want to do some adjustments to it, all you need to do is take this, and I don't know if you can see that. Okay, this little notch right here, when you twist this, it's going to bump up to the next one, and bump up to the next one, so on and so forth. When you get here, you get about an inch tighter on the spring, so it actually is going to make that spring tension tighter. And all you're going to do is take this and turn it sideways, just like that. And just keep going until you get the right height you want, or suspension rebound from these shocks.